Have you ever ruined your entire day because of something that never even happened? You send a text. They don't reply for an hour. Suddenly, your mind is writing a full movie. They must be upset. Maybe you said something wrong. Maybe they're losing interest. Before you know it, you're arguing with people who aren't even there. You're replaying conversations that never happened. You're preparing for disasters that only exist inside your head. It feels so real that your body can't tell the difference. Your heart races, your mood changes, your energy disappears. And the worst part? You know it's fake. You know you're imagining it, but somehow you still can't stop. If that's you, this video isn't just about overthinking. It's about the hidden habit that's quietly stealing your peace, your relationships, and your life in ways you probably haven't noticed yet. Because your imagination isn't trapping you. The way you're using it is. It starts with the smallest things. Someone changes their tone for 1 second. Your boss says, "Can we talk later?" Your friend leaves your message on read. Nothing has actually happened yet, but your mind doesn't wait for facts. It fills in the blanks before reality gets the chance. Suddenly, you're imagining the conversation you'll have tomorrow, then the one after that, then the worst possible ending. You rehearse every sentence, every reaction, every comeback you wish you could say. Hours pass. You're sitting in class, at work, in the shower, trying to fall asleep. But you're not really there. You're somewhere inside a future that doesn't exist. Maybe you've even caught yourself smiling because of an imaginary conversation, or getting angry over an argument that never happened. Your emotions change because of people who aren't even speaking to you. And somehow, it feels normal. You tell yourself you're just being prepared. You're thinking ahead. You're protecting yourself from getting hurt. But if that were true, why do you still feel anxious? Why do you replay the same scenes over and over without ever feeling ready? The strange part is that these fake scenarios can become more familiar than your real life. You know exactly what you'll say in an imaginary argument, but you can't remember the last meal you ate without being distracted by your own thoughts. And that's when something dangerous begins to happen. You slowly stop living in reality, not because you want to, because your brain starts believing that the imagined world deserves more attention than the real one. Your brain thinks it's helping you. Every fake conversation, every imaginary future, every what-if scenario has one goal: to protect you. Your mind believes that if it can predict every possible outcome, nothing will catch you off guard. So it keeps running simulations, again and again and again. The problem? Your brain doesn't know the difference between preparing for life and escaping from it. Think about it. You're washing the dishes, but mentally you're explaining yourself in an argument that will probably never happen. You're walking home, but you're imagining your future after one small mistake. You're lying in bed exhausted, yet your brain starts creating another movie the second the room gets quiet. Your body is in one place. Your attention is somewhere else. And that's more important than most people realize. One famous study followed thousands of people during their normal daily lives. Researchers found something surprising. People weren't less happy because of what they were doing. They were less happy because their minds kept drifting away from the present moment. In other words, the more their attention wandered into imagined situations, memories, or made-up futures, the worse they tended to feel. That's why you can finally get the day you've been waiting for and still spend it worrying about tomorrow. Or you can be with people you love, while your mind is busy creating problems that don't even exist yet. This is the trap. Your imagination is one of the most powerful tools you have. It helps you dream, create, solve problems, and plan ahead. But when it becomes your default place to live, it slowly turns into a prison. Because every minute spent inside a fake scenario is a minute your brain isn't fully experiencing reality. And after enough time, something strange happens. The imaginary world starts feeling more familiar than your real one. That's when the habit becomes much harder to notice and much harder to escape. But what if the fake scenarios aren't actually the problem? What if they're just the symptom? Most people think they imagine fake situations because they overthink. It's often the other way around. You overthink because your brain has learned that imaginary worlds feel safer than real life. In a fake conversation, you're always in control. You decide what the other person says. You get unlimited chances to find the perfect answer. You can rewind, pause, and start over as many times as you want. Real life doesn't work like that. Real conversations are messy. People misunderstand you. They interrupt you. They react in ways you never expected. And that's exactly what your brain is trying to avoid. So every time you escape into another imaginary scenario, your brain gets rewarded. Not because it solved anything, because it successfully avoided uncertainty. That's the twist almost nobody talks about. You're not addicted to imagining fake scenarios. You're addicted to the feeling of control they give you. The scenarios themselves don't calm you down. They only create the illusion that you're becoming more prepared. In reality, every hour spent rehearsing life is one less hour actually living it. And the cruel part is this: the more time you spend controlling life inside your head, the more unpredictable real life starts to feel. So you escape even more. Without noticing it, you've built a comfort zone that exists nowhere except inside your own imagination. And once your brain accepts that trade, reality begins to feel like the risky place. Here's what makes this habit so difficult to break. Every time you escape into another imaginary scenario, your brain gets a small reward. Not because the scenario is real, because for a few moments it gives you relief. Relief from uncertainty, relief from boredom, relief from loneliness, relief from emotions you don't want to feel. Your brain remembers that feeling. The next time you're stressed, disappointed, or uncomfortable, it doesn't ask, "How do we solve this?" It asks, "Where can we escape?" That's why it can happen without you even noticing. One second you're studying, the next you've been living inside your imagination for 20 minutes. Then you come back to reality feeling tired, guilty, and somehow even more overwhelmed than before. And that's not just a feeling. Researchers who studied something called maladaptive daydreaming found a clear pattern. They even developed a way to measure how severe it becomes. People who scored higher weren't simply creative. They were much more likely to struggle with emotional distress, trouble focusing, and difficulties in everyday life. The pattern looks surprisingly similar to what we see in behavioral addictions. Think about that, not because imagining is bad, but because your brain can start craving the escape instead of dealing with reality. That's the line most people never notice crossing. At first you choose the fantasy. Eventually the fantasy starts choosing you. You stop paying attention during conversations. Simple tasks feel harder to finish. Movies become background noise because your own imagination is more stimulating. Even good moments lose their impact because your mind keeps asking for another story to disappear into. And this is why it matters so much. The biggest cost isn't the time you lose. It's the life your brain slowly stops experiencing. Because the more often your attention leaves the present, the weaker your connection with the present becomes. And once your own mind becomes your favorite place to hide, the real world starts feeling like somewhere you only visit. Maybe this is the first time you've noticed it. Not the fake scenarios themselves, but the moment they begin, that tiny second when reality goes quiet and your mind automatically starts writing another story. The strange thing is, your life isn't made of those stories. It's made of the moments you were actually present for. The conversation you didn't rehearse, the laugh you didn't predict, the silence you didn't try to fill. None of them were perfect, but they were real. And maybe that's what your mind has been protecting you from all along. Because reality can disappoint you. Reality can embarrass you. Reality is uncertain, but reality is also the only place where anything can actually change. The imaginary version of your life will always feel safer. It will always promise one more rehearsal, one more perfect conversation, one more future where everything finally makes sense. It never asks you to take the risk, only to imagine taking it. So the next time you catch yourself disappearing into another fake scenario, don't just ask what you're imagining. Ask yourself something much harder. If your mind stopped writing stories about the life you might live tomorrow, would you recognize the life that's happening right now? Don't settle for your baseline. Go beyond it.